way it's impacted our school corporation as far as having PowerSync is the efficiencies that it provides.
Energy costs are at an almost all-time high. And the way to, the appropriate and responsible thing to do is everything you can to reduce that electrical consumption. So we're desperate for new technologies that will do exactly what the PowerSync system does.
This is a phenomenal way to put some dollars back into your operation fund from not expending those dollars for energy that's basically not needed because I'm only running the system during the time that's needed.
I first learned of the PowerSync system from my fleet manager, Alan Fiddler, who had been researching it and worked with some folks that had used it in the past. And at first I was really not sure how this would work out and what it might look like for us. And we kept talking about it and decided, hey, this is something that sounds like we need to look into a little further. So that's kind of where the conversation started about 3 years ago.
We have roughly 187 buses that are on our lot, and they have to run every day. It has to be something that we know works. We just wanted to make sure that the product worked, and it worked the way that it was supposed to work, and that our buses started and ran.
The challenges, I think, is with any district that has an electrical system that's plugged the buses into. One is probably the fact that when you plug that bus in, it's running 24/7. It may be 40 degrees out, it's still running. And because of that, there's lost savings or lost dollars for the district. So it was looking at how can we keep the buses plugged in, when we needed to have the buses plugged in, have the bus start when we needed to have it start, and then make sure that we were good to go when we needed to go.
We'd gone through a number of headaches and issues in the past with cold weather, buses not wanting to start, just extreme costs of electric power. And so it was like, hey, this is something that we really need to kind of dig into and see if it can do what they say it's going to do.
We installed the system in 2019. Before we put it in the block heater system, we were losing block heaters with a high failure rate. We had a very cold period. During that very cold period, we found out that we had 68 block heaters that were not working. Just the block heater itself, which can range from $75 to $100, plus labor of an hour and a half, so you're at another $100, so $250 per bus. But more importantly, it's just the downtime that you have involved in that. Since we put the system in and have been operating, we've put in less than 6 block heaters.
The PowerSync system is an incredibly important technology. Clear Result runs utility rebate programs in 32 states. Duke Energy, Indiana Michigan Power, NIPSCO, they all have similar custom programs. They're slightly different, but this technology would qualify for cash incentives on their rebate programs too.
We were super happy with the results that we saw. Basically, in just over a year, we're seeing full payback on the system. We were able to work with Power Grid System and their team and get rebate money up front so that it wasn't just all out of our budget.
On this last project, the projected savings were a little over $21,000, and the actual savings were almost double that.
With somewhere around a $42,000 cost savings in our utility use that first year, it just made perfect sense for us, and we'd say it was a home run.
I don't know where you can put your money that you can get it back in that amount of time. So very excited about that technology, but it is such a good low ROI that it is somewhat unbelievable. But I'm here to tell you it's true. We do data logging, we analyze these projects after we're done, and they save more money than we estimated it would.
An individual might think it's too good to be true, but look at the data. Follow the data, follow the numbers, and do a energy audit of what you're expending on your current system for power that goes out to your buses. And by that, I'm thinking not only of being green, because some have told me, well, we put it on timers. Well, fine, you put it on timers, but that timer may be also at 40 degrees. So it's not as efficient as the PowerSync system.
But I refer to it as the gift that keeps giving. What I lose track of is they save customers that participate in this and proceed with that technology, they save that money year in and year out after that.
If a director picked up the phone and called me and said, hey, we're having problems with, with our block heaters, or we're paying a crazy amount for our power during the winter, what would you recommend? I'd say come over and check out our system and look and see what we've done. We are certainly on board, and we'd recommend it to anyone.
As a fleet manager to another fleet manager, I would say that this is something to look at. This is really something that can help you save a lot of money and a lot of time.
So, Superintendent, I do have a lot on my plate. I deal with anything from school security, transportation, curriculum, instruction, dealing with school boards and things like that. The PowerSync system is a little bit different in that I could immediately see some savings that would be provided to the school district, becoming a more green technology, and understanding from a central office position that I don't have to worry about my buses being powered up because the block heater failed. The system that we have in works, and bottom line is we plug it in and we go, and I don't worry about it.
One of the neat things I think about the power grid system and as a business model is that, shoot, this thing can go really anywhere across the country. If you're dealing with cold weather and you're dealing with diesel engines, this is something that could be a solution for you.
It is good for everybody. It's good for the ratepayers. It's good for the schools and the end-use customers. The schools have they're all cash-strapped. I understand that. If they can have more money to spread out over the classroom, it's a win-win situation.
They're really forward-thinking with what they're doing with their product and where it's going. So I think they've got a winner.
Describing PowerSync in one word is difficult. And the reason being is because I don't think about it. The one-word answer would be it works. Put it in, it works, it saves me dollars, that's all I need.